Crazy Online Ninja Grannies, Crazy Online Ninja Grannies, Crazy Online Ninja Grannies, Crazy Power.
Cowabunga! Hey dudes, welcome to the PrinnyCast Roundtable, like a casual weekly show where we totally talk about what we've been up to and the various bodacious gaming-related stuff over the last week. We're your hosts. I'm Chris Nardo. This is Grover Tello.
Hello.
And Michelangelo.
It was so easy.
I knew you were going to make it Michelangelo too. I knew it.
I should have went the opposite direction, and it should have been obvious and made him Raphael anyway. And Edna O'Neill's with us, covering us like a true reporter as she chats with us through the technology of text messages. Awesome. And no, I'm not going to talk like that through the whole show. That would be obnoxious.
It would take hours.
But enjoy a lot of the videos to the following bundle games throughout the show. And the bundles for this week include a double header of yawning because I'm tired. It's morning. We usually don't record this early.
Oh, I've only been awake for a little bit.
We got a double hitter from groupies, including the $1 Get You Everything Clash of the World Bundle Scandinavia, the Shiny Loot 2 bundle for some goodies fresh from the Shiny Loot website. The Mixer 2 bundle is from Indie Royale, is one of their cheapest ever, with 9 games for $2.50. Bundle Stars keeps the bundles coming with a new Adrenaline bundle of 11 games and a game creation assistant software for $5. And lastly, the Classic Humble bundle, which is Mobile Bundle 4 and the weekly with, well, actually, it's a little while before the weekly actually shows up. So here's a picture of what it will be. There we go.
Whee!
And just for the heck of it, there's Amazon's Sonic Everywhere Pack, which will get you a ton of Sonic's best games over his lifetime for just $19, including Sonic CD, Generations, and both All-Stars racing games. Whew. So, yeah, what have we been playing this week, Mike?
Lots of Diablo 3.
Dude!
Some World of Warcraft.
Dude!
I bought Earthbound on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Dude!
I haven't really played very much of it.
It probably hasn't aged very well.
I can't tell if you're being one of the
Earthbound?
turtles or if you're being a Prinny.
They go hand and flipper or something.
No, Earthbound has aged very well, I think.
Well, part of that's because of the art style, but I remember it's
Earthbound's
kind of a clunky game to move.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I like,
yeah.
it's not Dragon Warrior 1 clunky, but it's kind of clunky.
It can be hard. It can be really hard at times.
On the plus side, it was one of the first RPGs that would let you move in all 8 directions, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
But other than those, I haven't really played a whole lot.
Tisk. What about you, Grover?
I played some Banish.
Mhm.
Can't really play much more because the bugs are just bad. I mean, I'm being savaged by the bugs. They're so bad. There's not a lot of them, but the ones that are there are breaking at times, and you've seen it. You've seen them, and they will torture you and destroy you. Then just play Bejeweled, whoop-de-freaking-do. Playing Candy Crush again, whoop-de-freaking-do. Played some SimCity 2013, was the Cities of Tomorrow expansion pack. That fixes a lot of stuff. It makes it awesome, and there's a kid yelling in the background every time I speak. Then, just today, I got free, and it's called the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. And yeah, I'm getting cracked out on that. That game is very awesome.
Heard a little bit about it, but not terribly much. Apparently, it's been like in alpha or beta for ages.
Yeah, it's insanity. I don't even know if it came out on open beta just a couple days ago or if it's been that way, and I just found out. And that's the case that a lot of people think I'm probably stupid because I've been telling a couple people.
I remember talking about this game like a year, maybe even closer to when we first started.
Yeah, I remember too. There's, like you said, Chris was looking earlier for a wiki, and he can't find it. It's not there.
Not on the standard Wikipedia, no. Craziness. And it's Ubisoft. We're not talking about some unknown company here.
Yeah, that's really weird too. It's Ubisoft. It's just like Ubisoft. This is too cool of a game for Ubisoft. The puns in the game are pretty awesome. So it's just like, doesn't seem like Ubisoft at all.
But, as for me, I'm still with the browser MMO Tynan. Not much else lately aside from some obscure fighting games I've been thumbing through again to remind myself what I do actually have and some of the weird characters from them. And I got the Shiny Loot 2 bundle, so I was checking out the games from that. And even the games I didn't expect to like are actually better than I was anticipating. So hooray! I like being pleasantly surprised. Don't really have much to talk about extra this week. Been a very blah mood, very kind of depressive. Even work has been a huge drudgery more than usual, and I have enough trouble because, you know, when you work in something that's largely creative, mood is very important.
It's usually slightly important. You know, you gotta get those juices flowing, and when they're stagnated, you're just like,
I don't know. So I don't want to attempt any Prinny plays while I'm not particularly funny either, because, yeah, I'm sorry about that intro. I hope nobody's ears were bleeding from my chorus of singing, but did get get Grover's new Banished review up a couple of days ago, and go check that out along with his ongoing Let's Play, if they still call him that, on Banished itself.
It's still a Let's Play. I meant to have part 3 out, but I got a really bad sore throat, so there's no way in hell I could do 30 minutes of rambling.
And Mike is back there somewhere. He's just being quiet today. He is still there. Okay, so our topic today is simple enough. With the growing technology finally starting to edge in the world of virtual reality that's been talked about and toyed with since the 1980s, with stuff like the Oculus Rift and the Xbox Kinect specifically, how do you guys think gaming will change from here?
This may sound crazy, but I've had this idea since I was a kid. There's one time that I can't play games. It's when I'm dreaming. I want them to build a device that lets me keep playing the games while I'm asleep.
I don't know. I dream video games sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I mean, I've dreamed them, but I mean, I want it where like I'm asleep, is this thing connected to my head, and the computer screen's still going with me unconscious.
I don't think that would be very restful sleep.
That'd be some constant damn REM sleep.
I was always thinking that virtual reality would be the next step, and with the Oculus Rift, we're getting pretty close to that. So,
yeah, I actually got the chance to put one on my head and check it out.
What do you think?
It can fool you. I did the roller coaster one.
Yeah, I did that one too.
I have a strange phobia when it comes to going upside down, and I had to take it off. I loop to loops, especially when I don't know they're coming. I guess that's This may sound strange, and it's just funny because I talked about this yesterday in the subgroup for Twitch I was hanging out in, and they said, do you ever have the fear that you're going to fall up? And, you know, you've either had it or you don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's kind of like you're going to fall down, like and hit the ground, but not. You're going to fall up into the sky. That's the weird feeling I get when I'm upside down.
I can understand that. I don't think I've had that personally. I mean, I've been lightheaded and stuff, but I didn't think I was going to fall to the ceiling, so.
Anybody that hasn't heard of it's just always got that, what? What the hell are you talking about?
Which is actually one of the subjects I was going to bring up, is motion sickness is a very real thing for people.
Head bobbing in games, I can't do it. It gets me vertigo.
Well, some of it's just obnoxious anyway. I've turned off the one on Minecraft since day one.
It's kind of like why I like Team Fortress 2, because there's no head bob. I can just zip around and smack the shit out of stuff, and Call of Duty, you know, them usually have the head bob, and I'm sitting there just like, I'm going to puke.
I remember some people I worked with back in the early 2000s when the Nintendo 64 was still kind of a thing, and people were getting sick watching the 3D graphics.
Too. If I'm playing all these, you know, these games that look really good right now. If I go back to like Super Nintendo or even Nintendo, I'll actually get bad migraines for like a half day or so as my eyes adjust to the lower quality.
Uh-oh.
When I go up to the higher quality, I'll get another migraine from all that too.
That's interesting. I never really thought about things like that.
Now see, I'm the other way. There's too many games that are so worried about smoothing off the hard edges, they get ridiculously blurry. And for me, that's a problem.
Bloom gives me a headache too.
Yeah, well, they've gotten better at it, but during the days of Oblivion, they got a little carried away with, the new technology of Bloom. We gotta put it in every game that comes out. That
Anno
got
2070 goes crazy with Bloom. My god, Bloom! That's kind of like for VG Cats. Let's get that lens flare so good that people catch on fire.
Woo! It's like the high def that's so good that we can see everybody's zits and pores. Woo!
Yeah.
But since you mentioned the older games, that's another thing. Is this yet another threat to end 2D games for good? I mean, indie games has brought 2D back, thank goodness, but pixel games and even the 3D, 2D stuff like the new Strider, stuff like virtual reality would really kill that or hurt it.
Weird. I wouldn't mind putting on the VR headset and playing a 2D game. I wanted it so much with the Virtual Boy, and I did, but you know, you kind of go blind with the Virtual Boy doing that, and you lay on your bed and you put the Virtual Boy thing on top of your head, and you sit there on the bed laying down playing it.
Oh yeah, I did that with Wario.
Oh, that's exactly what the game I played was.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I would be near blind when I was done playing, but it was awesome.
I don't know, I guess the 3DS has proven that you can do a lot of interesting 3D effects with 2D games and still get away with it, but it just seems like a technology that's absolutely unnecessary to 2D, and 2D being something the gaming industry loves to get rid of when they can for some weird reason.
Yeah, for 2D, I can always imagine like Google Glasses. Like I put the glasses on, and the game would appear on the little 2D games, like Terraria would appear on the screen, and I could sit there and play with glasses on, sitting on a couch or just laying down. Like I would love some nice just to lay down, put on glasses or put a VR headset, and my God, my voice sounds bad. Even I can tell now. And just I don't know, play Super Mario 1. Super Mario 1 is my kind of go to sleep game.
I can't go to sleep playing any video games.
You know,
it requires
Tetris Attack might be the best one for that actually. actually.
It just requires too much interaction from the player. It doesn't matter what video game it is.
Now, some games can make people sleepy, I know, largely because of things like mood or music, but
Music, Tetris Attack can arguably put you to sleep in a matter of minutes if there's music. That's a Super Nintendo game for anybody that's wondering what the hell you're talking about.
one of the games I got from one of the bundles not so long ago, I believe it's Airship Dragoon or something like that. It's not a bad little strategy indie game, but the music loops so quickly, and it doesn't really have anything but the one motif, so it feels like it's looping even before it starts looping. I got so bored and sleepy playing the game because it's slow moving anyways, just because of that song, that we're getting off subject, sorry.
No, so upset. Always.
But it's not just about the visuals, though. It's also about the act of controlling it, Kinect style, too. So, could we give up controllers if they came up with a way of doing things, or even like a 3D mouse? Would we just get rid of controllers? You know, not every game, obviously.
That's the word they use for that, where they're talking about new controllers. They're talking about thought-motivated controller, where literally something scans your eyes, and your eyes determine movement.
They've already got those little toys that are supposedly Jedi trainers, where it's
I've seen
those little
are
magnet
awesome.
things, and just by the mental energy that you're using, that you can actually move the things. It freaks some people out, but it's pretty scientific. There's nothing psychic about it. It's just using the electricity that's coming out of your brain. But that's still an early indication that we are coming somewhere to that point someday. I think the Wii kind of proved that it's a gaming style that is not really good for most gamers, because gamers like to sit for like 2 hours playing their favorite games, and waggling forever wears you down. It gives you carpal tunnel syndrome on top of it. So I can just imagine somebody's entire body getting involved in something like that. Could be a problem.
I don't think it'd be so bad there. I mean, I gotta admit, in my left hand, I have carpal tunnel. If I sit there and play long enough, my pinky and finger next to it go completely numb. I have to stop what I'm doing and shake them. And shake for like a minute to wake them up.
Shake, 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 shake.
Shake, shake, shake.
Of course, here comes another problem with getting too into our controller. And I keep thinking of the old activator for the Genesis, which is absolutely the wrong place to go with this. But if we start getting video games that are really one-to-one with us, and we're getting into first-person shooters or fighting games or anything else that makes us really physically active in a violent way, what if that violent behavior to muscle memory actually becomes a thing? And I'm not one that blames all of society's violence on video games. I'm not one of those idiots. But, you know, there is an aggressive form to playing video games that releases a lot of that stress and stuff regarding that. But if you're sitting there punching the screen and you're getting aggravated with the game too...
During the Persian Gulf War, they found that a lot of the Navy pilots, the Air Force pilots that played video games were more efficient bombers, attackers, dogfighters. They gained that efficiency from, according to them, they said when they were flying a jet, other than the G-forces, it was really no different than when they were playing the games. And I could see that going to, if you play Call of Duty or you play gun games all the time, so you snap and you go on a killing spree, you'll probably be a little more efficient at killing people.
Simply because the mechanics of it, not so much the actual skill of it, just the knowledge of how things work, certain guns work certain ways, that sort of thing. It does make sense. But, if you play laser tag long enough, you're probably going to get even better at it or paintball or something like that. So, it's not all video games here. But, I don't know, it's just a curiosity that if we get into something so regularly, it's like the people that train for combat all the time, and somebody grabs them the wrong way and they have that instinctual muscle memory to do something too. I wonder if that might be a problem with video game players in the future. I think about things like this. I don't know. But
That's a good point.
One way to find out.
here, grab me around the neck and see what happens.
Oh, Grover, put me down. We're all going to play a bunch of Karate Kid, and then we're going to go beat up each other. I don't know if it's going to be because we learned anything or because we're so pissed off from playing that game.
Especially if you're talking about the NES one.
I'm talking about the NES one. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes. And some last-second curiosities. After delays and controversy, the PC and all console versions of Watch Dogs has finally got a release date of May 27th, except for the Wii U, which is not yet announced. So here's to hoping that it lives up to the enormous amount of hype. And hang on to your hats, Shaq Fu 2 is a thing. The infamous fighting game starring the giant basketball star Shaquille O'Neal is still panned as one of the worst fighting games of all time. But now it's on Indiegogo, looking for support to bring it back in a whole new rebooty sequel sort of thing. It's changing a great deal, though. It's no longer a one-on-one fighting game, but instead a beat-em-up with a lot of leveling ups and multiplayer modes and stuff like that. So I don't know where they're going with that. Beat-em-ups aren't exactly popular these days anymore, which is a sad thing, because I just those two.
Why do this at all? That's some low dignity there.
Two.
Stop making dumbass movies and games.
Oh, there you go. Easy answer. Stamp of approval.
Kazam!
Follow us on Twitter at PrinnyCast, and you can contact us with email at prinnycast@gmail.com. I'm making weird pauses there. You can cast the rest of our links to YouTube and Twitch channels down below, even though Grover's given up his. We'll be back next week. I have
less sore throat.
Yeah, less sore throat. Less Chris knowing what he's not doing. See? I can't even. I don't know. I give up. Later, dude.
You know what you are not doing?
Tomorrow or next week.
It's all insanity. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.